Hello students, in our today's class we will continue with Garnishi order. So as we know, Garnishi order, it is the order issued by a court to the banker to suspend or freeze the account belonging to a particular customer. Okay, so we had seen the parties and we had also seen the parts of Garnishi order. Okay, so your Garnishi order, it comes in two parts. Okay, many of you did not understand the parts of Garnishi order, so that's why I'm explaining it once again in short. Okay, so it comes in two parts. First one is order nisi. Okay, see, I had given the example in the previous class that suppose if X has taken loan from Y, okay, and X did not repay the loan. Okay, whatever loan, say he has taken a loan of 20,000 from Y and he did not repay the loan. At that time, suppose Y comes to know, okay, Y comes to know that X is having a account in State Bank of India. What will Y do? Y will go to the court, okay, and he will file a case against whom? Against X. He will file a case against X. Then if Y wins the case, the court will issue what? The court will issue Garnishi order. Okay, Garnishi order will be issued by the court to the State Bank of India, stating that to freeze the account of X. Okay, so here X's account will be suspended or X's account will be freezed. That is, until and unless X pays rupees 20,000 to Y, he cannot make any further transactions. Okay, so here the order comes into two parts. One is order nisi. So order nisi, once when the banker receives order nisi, what he has to do? He has to suspend the debtor's account. Okay, so here who is the debtor? X is the judgment debtor. Okay, who is the creditor? Y is the creditor. Okay, y is the creditor, that is judgment creditor, and SBI is the garnishi. So whenever Garnishi order, that is order nisi, is received by the banker, he has to freeze whose account? He has to freeze X's account. Okay, then next thing is he has to explain, who? The banker has to explain why the funds of judgment debtor lying in the hands of the banker should not be used for payment of judgment creditor. Okay, see, there might be certain reasons that maybe X's account is not having 20,000 at all. Okay, actually what was the debt amount? It was 20,000, but X's account is actually having only 2,000. Mr. X is having only 2,000 in his account. At that time, can he pay to Mr. Y? He cannot pay to Mr. Y. That's why the banker has to state certain reasons. Maybe second reason might be, suppose the person, okay, there might be various persons in the same name, and whatever the notice is issued, that person may not be the customer of the bank. Even that reason can be given by the banker. And if there are any other situations, or if there are any other objections by the banker, he has to raise it. Okay, then third one is to raise any objections by the banker by appearing before the court on particular date and time. Okay, so the banker has to appear before the court. Generally there will be a format in which the banker has to fill the details. Okay, why the amount cannot be paid to the judgment creditor. Okay, that is why in this example, why you cannot pay him, what are the reasons behind that. So the banker has to give the details. Okay, then suppose if the banker does not raise any objections, he does not submit any objections within the given period of time, then the court will issue order absolute. Okay, that the banker will receive order absolute. So when the banker receives this order, okay, it means what? Now the banker did not raise any objection saying that X is not having X is having insufficient funds. He did not say anything relating that. What does that mean? It means that X's account is having sufficient funds. Okay, that is, he is having 20,000 in his account. So what he has to do? He has to transfer this 20,000 to Y, that is the judgment creditor. Okay, so when he receives this order absolute, he has to give 20,000 to Mr. Y. Okay, so that is your order absolute. Then comes application of Garnishi order. Okay, so in under which situations or under what conditions Garnishi order is applicable? So first and foremost thing, there should be credit balance in judgment debtor's account. Okay, so in this example, who is judgment debtor over here? X is your judgment debtor. Okay, so here first and foremost thing, important thing is he must be having balance, okay, in his account. Again the same thing I'm telling you. Suppose if the loan amount, okay, if the loan amount is how much, 20,000, okay, and X is having SB account, savings bank account in State Bank of India, but his account is having only 1000 rupees, or say 15,000 rupees. His account is having how much, only 15,000 rupees. Now is this 15,000 sufficient to pay to judgment creditor? Why it is not sufficient? Okay, under such circumstances your garnishee order cannot be fulfilled, that is banker cannot make the payment to. Why? Because here there are insufficient funds, that is his account, whose account, X's account, is not having sufficient funds. Okay, he is having insufficient funds, that is he is having debit balance and not credit balance in his account. Okay, so that is your first thing. Then the next thing is what, account should be in the name of judgment debtor and in his own right, means account should not be held in the name of trustee or jointly with another person. Okay, now suppose if there are two persons, say X and V. Okay, X and V are having joint account. Okay, a joint account in which bank? Say State Bank of India, they are having joint account. Now garnishee order is issued on whose name? X's name. Okay, now garnishee order is applicable only on X's account. Okay, not on joint account of X and V. Okay, suppose if garnishee order was issued on joint account, okay, if it was on X and V's account, at that time it was applicable on this joint account. But now since it is issued only on X's account, it is applicable to the same person, that is judgment debtor only. If judgment debtor was a partnership firm, if it was a joint account, at that time it was applicable for that particular thing. Okay, but here in the example which we have taken, here who is the judgment debtor? X is the judgment debtor. That's why whose name is there? Okay, whose name is there, in that account only you can apply. Okay, next one, garnishee order attaches all the accounts of judgment debtor. Suppose this X is having many accounts in State Bank of India. Okay, then your garnishee order is applicable on all the accounts. Suppose he is having one account in maybe Banwasi Road branch, then he is having another account in maybe Ashwini Circle branch. Okay, at that time if the banker issues garnishee order, it is applicable to all the accounts which he is having. Okay, in any branches he might be having any kind of accounts, so it is applicable to all the accounts. Then judgment creditor's debt must be due, means garnishee order applies on due debts, not on future debts. Okay, this thing I have explained you in the previous class also. Okay, so what is this? Suppose the judgment creditor over here, who is judgment creditor? Y is the judgment creditor. Okay, who is the judgment debtor? X is the judgment debtor. Now Y's debt, y, X has taken debt from Y, 20,000. Okay, 20,000 loan he has taken, and X has said him that he will pay after 1 year. Okay, now Y can go to the court and issue the garnishee order only after 1 year. Okay, not before that. Say he has given money to X and he is asking money after 3 months and he is going to issue garnishee order, it is not applicable. Okay, so after 1 year, the time given was 1 year, so after that Y can go to the court and file a case and issue garnishee order on X's account, not before that. Okay, so that itself is your, it apply that the debts must be due and it should not be on the future debts. Okay, next one, garnishee order must be clear in terms of mentioning the name and address of the customers. Okay, so whoever is the judgment debtor, that his name must be clear. Okay, now in the, now so just take the example of your class, with the same name there will be lots of people. Okay, there will be some people with the initials also same, their surname also will be same, everything will be same. Okay, so what happens over here, that it creates a confusion. That's why when you are issuing the garnishee order, you must mention the name of the judgment debtor clearly. Okay, so who is your judgment debtor? That is the name of the customer in the bank, his address, his details should be clearly stated in the order. Okay, next one, banker can claim set off. So this point we have seen in obligation to or right of set off also. Okay, that is, now suppose this X, okay, who is X is the judgment debtor. So he is the customer of which bank? He is the customer of SBI bank also. Okay, now X's account is having say 50,000 in his SB account. Okay, he is having 50,000 in his SB account. Now SBI has received what? Garnishee order, that is to freeze what? X's account. Okay, and this X is having OD account or loan account in State Bank of India, say OD of rupees 30,000. Okay, so now what SBI will do? First he will clear his loan of 30,000, then he will go and freeze the customer's account. Getting the things? First what he will do, he will cover whatever the outstanding loan amount was there of 30,000. He is going to set it off, and remaining what is the amount, 20,000, he is going to surrender it to the judgment creditor. Okay, so that itself, if any debt with the same customer, and then the balance will be enjoyed by the judgment creditor. Okay, so whatever the remaining balance will be there, it will be given to the judgment creditor. Okay, next we'll see application of garnishee order to various types of account. To which accounts garnishee order can be applied? First one, joint account. Garnishee order can be attached to joint account when all the joint account holders are judgment debtors. Okay, I had given you the example also. Suppose if it is a joint account of U and X, okay, and if the judgment debtor are U and X, at that time it is applicable to joint account. Okay, for individual debts you cannot claim garnishee order for joint accounts. Okay, suppose if it was a loan of only X, at that time you cannot claim it on the joint account. Suppose the judgment debtors are U and X, only at that time you can claim, you can apply the garnishee order for U and X's account. Then next one, partnership account. So garnishee order cannot be attached to a partnership firm account for individual debt or personal loan of a partner. Okay, but for payment of firm debt, personal account of the partner can be attached. Okay, so what they are saying here is, suppose if there is a partnership firm, okay, so ABC are partners of a firm, ABC, they are the partners of a firm, and they have a loan. Okay, loan of rupees say 50,000. Okay, at that time garnishee order, it is to be issued what? See, garnishee order cannot be attached to a partnership account for a firm for individual debt or personal loan of a partner. Okay, now suppose in this ABC, if they are partners of a firm ABC, C is having a private loan. Okay, at that time you cannot issue a garnishee order to the firm's account. Okay, but in case of the loan of your firm, okay, for the payment of firm's debt, personal account of partner can be attached. Okay, that is, if in the case of ABC, if there is loan for the firm, at that time you can claim this particular amount from C's account. Okay, or maybe B's account individually and as well as A's account. Getting the thing? Okay, that is, suppose if there is individual loan, you cannot claim it from the firm's account, but if there is firm's loan, you can claim it from individual's account. Okay, I hope this thing is clear. If these things are not clear, please let me know. Thank you. Have a nice day.